color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day. While the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor, he was telling you to build your own house.
You are now listening to a Lost Sheep production.
Now, brothers and sisters, I would like to present to you your brother, your friend, your champion. He is a friend of God. He's beloved of God. The miracle of the Million Man March showed that if you didn't see it any other time, God brought a call through his divine servant and answered it not just with the million, but he put another million on top of the call because the brother had enough faith in Allah to make the call on behalf of his people. Can't you see the hand of God? It's not invisible, it's real. It's on your brother. He's inside of America. He's right here with you. He's right here with all of us. And I think we should be ready to receive him. Your champion of truth, God's divine servant, a Messiah in the midst of the people, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Put your hands together. Let them feel your love. Feel your spirit. Praise is due to Allah. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Look, y'all all right? Now, whether you know it or not, our young men are cold today. Wait now. These young brothers, see that walk? They're not playing. They'll kill concrete. Young black man is so bad he'll burn water. He's mean. What made him so cold? That they can open fire on one another. And people burying their dead and the brother he's not moved by it. You say it's terrible. It's so terrible what our children are doing. You're right. Well, what's more terrible is the reason why they're doing it. Give me a few more minutes. I'm almost finished. The street constitutes an institution. In the same way that the church, the family, and the school are conceived as institutions. The streets have a set of values and norms to govern and reinforce their existence. The social structure of the street lacks the sophistication that these other institutions have. Nevertheless, it is an institution because it helps to shape and control behavior. And it is on the streets where the black child receives his basic orientation to life. The streets have become his primary reference point because other institutions have failed to provide him with the essential skills that he needs to survive. So he must undergo a rigorous apprenticeship that will enable him to compensate for the lack of guidance from the church, from the home, from the school, from institutions and adults. He becomes a student of the asphalt jungle because that is where he can learn the skills that he needs, and the instructors consist of hustlers, pimps, street men, gang leaders, working men that have it hard in civilization, militant criminals. And though these men do not have master's or PhD degrees, their credentials have been earned from actual experience and not from the sterile laboratories of formal academic institutions. So when a young man comes out of jail and comes back home, he's met by his peers. Hey, my man, you back, baby, run on. He said, yeah, I'm back. He's more mean now than he was before. Because he survived jail, he got some extra credentials. Am I lying, brothers? When you come in with your PhD degree, they say, here come this faggot. He's talking all proper. Now, boys, you must not get involved in these gang activities. You must work hard and go to school and be a good boy. And remember what Jesus said.
Yo. That was the Honorable Farrakhan. Sorry, I'm looking at my screen here. Hoping to get all my technical things together, the sound. And I was actually on time today, so shouldn't have this excuse. But that was the Honorable Louis Farrakhan speaking on the topic that we want to discuss tonight. The title of the show tonight is Pray or Stand Up. And the subtopic is we got a real problem, black people, and we can't continue to hide it. Because in every neighborhood, black neighborhood in America, there seems to be a problem with black people killing black people. We ain't talking about white people today. Today we're talking about black people and the bull crap that we allowed to go. Farrakhan said something in there. He said that the streets are an institution because they shape and control behavior. But that's the behavior on the street. That's not the behavior toward loving your brother, being your brother's keeper. We had a show a few weeks ago called The Prison of Our Minds. Talked about not snitching. People don't understand not snitching meant something totally different in the black community in the 50s and 60s. And most of the time it was not talking to the man who was trying to destroy the community. Those that would persecute us and put drugs in the community and put guns in the community and arrest us without cause. That's when people weren't talking to each other. But I'll be damned if I see a worthless person, and I hate to call people worthless, but if you living worthless, if you acting worthless, if you acting destructive, then I got a problem because you don't love yourself and you don't love anybody else. In the last couple of weeks in Dalton, we've had multiple murders. They having a some type of thing tonight for the young lady that was just killed. Going to the store, sitting in the car with this young man. The shooting stars, he runs, he gets away, of course. She gets killed. You don't think he knows who the people are trying to kill him? why wouldn't he be making comments to the police about the situation? It's his dumb shit that got the girl killed. Let's not pretend like we don't know what the hell's going on out here in the streets. People doing dumb shit, then getting other people involved. A week prior to that, a woman who volunteers for her church, works, takes care of her family, also in Dalton, driving down the street. Let's have a shootout. Nobody else gets hit. Nobody else is in the hospital because they check the hospitals when there's a shooting. Nobody shows up at the hospital being shot. The woman's dead. Her 4 kids now don't have a mother. They've changed their lives for the rest of their life. But, oh, you're not supposed to snitch on that. If you don't snitch, it means you're a coward. It means you're part of the problem. Because if they do it once, they'll do it again and again and again. There's no accountability for people's actions nowadays. And I was talking about that on the show, how tired I am. And that same week that woman got shot, 2 dudes decided that they want to try to rob the used car dealership in Dalton. Dalton is the new Calumet City. They used to call Calumet City Killer Cow. Had a building out there. Once they put the blue light up on my block, I knew it was a wrap. I talk to a lady all the time that comes to my store. Miss Martha's very religious. And she's always encouraged me to pray on that situation and pray on that situation. And I said today, Miss Martha, praying is a call to action. God did not say pray and then wait on him to answer your prayer. I said, I just don't believe in that philosophy. But I do believe it's going to take a coalition of people. Farrakhan speaks in that piece. It's called Farrakhan on Fire. If anybody wants to hear the whole thing, you can probably find it on YouTube. He talks about the failure. What's that, Brandon? He talks about the failure of the institutions that are supposed to be there to help us. So we're talking about the PhDs, the pastors, the teachers, the working men in the community. We've all failed at some point, and I'm not excluding myself from it. All I can say is when I was in those neighborhoods, everyone can attest that Rich is going to speak up. It ain't going to happen in front of this house. It's not going to happen in front of this building. But if you don't speak up in front of your building, what difference does it make if I speak up? There's strength in unity. By yourself, yeah, you need to be afraid by yourself if nobody else is stepping up. There's going to need to be some sacrifices. And I'm sorry if people feel a certain way about that, because there's already sacrifices. All the dead young people that have been killed this summer that won't even make it back to the start of school, they became sacrifices for what? Because you want to sell drugs. You want to shoot and kill people. You ain't got no fucking plans for your life, but we supposed to feel sorry for you. We supposed to keep our mouth shut for you. And regardless of who it is, if you do it, family member or not, if you do it and it's not in self-defense, yeah, turn you in. I'm tricking. This is the mentality, and it's not a new mentality. King said, your silence is betrayal. So you're a traitor when you cover for this dude. Well, I don't want to say nothing. Well, then you're a traitor. Because like I spoke about, I say you can go right online and report any crime you want to the police department anonymously. They will never know who did it, who said anything. But we won't even do that. Me and Miss Martha talking. I'm like, Miss Martha, it's not just praying for this one block here. We're talking about a nationwide issue in black communities. Shooting, killings, murder, mayhem. And you know what happens after all the destruction? Gentrification. They allow it to happen so you can tear up your neighborhood, devalue the property, bring the property values way down, and then they come in like, okay, cool. Y'all don't want to live here no more? That's cool. She made a statement today. She was like, well, I'm claiming South Shore right now. I said, South Shore's already been claimed. They already got that already in motion, Miss Martha. The gentrification has started heavy in South Shore, and it's going to continue. So all the little shooting that y'all doing right now, they're going to push you right on out to Dalton, Calumet City, whatever other little suburb. I'm seeing white people every day building. See, they building. They might screw each other over for some property, for some money. That's what they doing. They building. Had a discussion today. We're talking about nationality and culture. I already said we don't have a culture as black people. And we definitely don't have a nationality because we have no connection to Africa. And unlike everybody else in this world that has a connection, we don't. It's like being set adrift in the ocean on a little rubber raft without a paddle or anything. And everybody else has paddles, boats, steamships. There's no catching up for us. Oh, well, if we work with these people, this is going to give us an opportunity to really submit ourselves in society. Society has decided that you won't submit yourself. Are you crazy? There's no catching up at this point financially, because they had the ability to build. That's what are they building? A new $500 million office for I forgot what the company was. We ain't got, are there any corporations in the neighborhoods, in any black neighborhood? Are there any high rises where business has been done? Do we own everything we own? We pretty much sold off. Do we own any major networks? So stop telling me about we got a chance as long as we're working with these people. When the show comes on all the time, it talks about Malcolm saying, stop begging them and build our own house. And we have failed to build our own house. And once you build your house, you can't protect your house if you're letting the wolves run all through the house. The purpose of the sheepdog is to protect the flock from the wolves, from all the attackers that would do harm to the flock. Where are the shepherds at? Where are the shepherds? And we got into this whole discussion today about, well, everybody knows the scripture about we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against rulers and against authorities and against, I got a fly in here, against powers in high places. I say, but you know what, Miss Martha? These people killing and everything, that's not a high place. The things that's going on in the neighborhood, that's not a high place. And I'm the first one to say, hey, pray. But prayer is a call to answer, to action. That scripture has nothing to do with what's going on down here. Yes, there are those in high places that we must war against. But that war has been going on for years, centuries. And they ain't put us no closer to the promised land. So we have these brothers and sisters in high places. But everybody keeps their mouth closed because they want to stay in them high places because I enjoy what I do. I mean, yeah, I'm an executive. I worked hard. I take care of my family. This is great. You know, these Negroes out here, I have no time for it because they don't want to get educated. They got all these opportunities to come and work for the master because what else you gonna do? Because they've already set it up that you can't do anything else. That's why I went and got my own business. People have been telling me for years, get out of there, man. You're not going to win with these people. Your education means nothing to them if he's the boss. You got two PhDs and your boss got a high school diploma. Or maybe a few years of college. But he's protected in the circle. He gets to decide your faith. Because he already knows you ain't got shit. What you gonna go back and be with the other niggas? Man, we know you don't want that. You don't want to be with your own people. You don't love your own people. So why would you want to be with your people and you don't even love them? To help people, you got to love people. So I have a ton of conversations every day. I have conversations about religion, the neighborhood, people. That's my spot. Okay, you want to talk? Let's talk. You see the issue? Yeah, I see the issue. What's the solution? Miss Martha always says, yeah, prayer is the solution. I said, yeah, prayer is the solution. Long term. That's on God, how he's going to work it out, how he's predestinated it to work out. Quite often, that's not going to stop your suffering because it was predestinated, I guess. Is that going to stop the pain? Is everybody all of a sudden, if we all even came together and prayed, because we did this in our mentoring class, let's just go and spontaneously, let's pray for somebody. Let's pray for this. And I don't believe a lot of these brothers are bad, but their actions are bad. And if you got bad actions, I think you need to pay for them. If you're shooting kids and all that other type of I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, I know you had a rough life, and it's going to get even rougher behind these bars. But when you go to jail, guess what happens, bro? You the shepherd and left your flock out here in the streets. Your kids, they unprotected now. That's on you. So you sitting in jail 4, 5 years, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and your seed is out here in these streets unprotected. What you gonna become? What you think he gonna become? Mama can't hold him down. No matter how tough she thinks she is, at the point he's gonna outgrow her. And he's gonna stop listening to her. And you talking to him from jail ain't gonna mean a damn thing. So what have you done? You've released another wolf into the street who does have any characteristic of manhood, who understands anything about being a man. He thinks because he can pull his little stuff out of his pants and make a baby, that makes him a man. He thinks because he can fight a little bit, this makes him a man, which they don't fight no more. He thinks because he can pull the trigger, that makes him a man. I ain't scared, man. I don't give a fuck. I wear my pants like this because I want to show my ass. So you want to be in the street, you want to show your ass, you want to act a certain way? Okay, we got places for you, because that doesn't help us build anything. Oh, well, I don't want to go work for the man. You need to go work for somebody, anybody, rather than slanging drugs and talking that yah-yah. Pull your pants up on your ass, because I still don't get that unless you're trying to be a rape victim. Because that's basically what a lot of that shit happened in prison. Oh, you showing your drawers? Okay, we gonna get that ass tonight. Because you like to show your drawers. You like to show your ass. We gonna show you something. But you cool. And that's all of them, even the ones in my family. I don't give a fuck. I don't understand it. I don't get it, and I don't have to get it. And that's another thing. We got to stop fucking with our kids like that. I don't have to get it. I don't have to fuck with you like that. I am your parent. You bringing that shit to my house, the first gang you're going to have to deal with is the house gang. And the house gang is going to whoop that ass and put you out on the street if that's what you want. Because you're not about to whoop the house. You're not about to defeat the house. You're not about to do what the fuck you want to do. Where they do that at? But the house is not fighting. Because ain't no shepherds in the house. Because if they ain't strung out on drugs or sitting in prison they damn self or dead, ain't no shepherds. I know the women, hey, y'all try to do y'all best. But remember, just a month ago, those two sisters that would sit out there every day and try to make that block safe so the kids can have a place to stay, play, and then somebody comes by and does a drive-by and kills both of them. My first question is, why is there two sisters sitting on the block? Why ain't the brothers in that neighborhood patrolling that neighborhood? And you gonna tell me nobody knows who did that? Nobody knows who the shooters are? Don't tell me it was an accident. No, it wasn't an accident. People know exactly who did it. And they're cowards and they're traitors too. Tired of this. Don't nobody want to hear these stories no more about people trying to become ghetto kings. End that shit. We don't care. I don't care about somebody stopping you from selling drugs because you shouldn't be stopped selling drugs. I don't care about you getting locked up for killing kids because you should be locked up for killing kids. I don't care about people harassing you in the neighborhood when you ain't doing shit but harassing the neighborhood. So you should be picked up. I'm walking down the street the other day, and this young man, I don't know what he was doing. He's talking. I gave him a card anyway, and he drinking a beer. Just walking down the street, pants sagging, everything. Guess what? The police pull up. He had tossed it. They were like, "Oh, what's up? What's that you just tossed?" "Oh, that was a soda." "No, that looked like a beer, bro." I kept on walking. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Was he being harassed or had he created a situation? A few months ago, I'm up in Starbucks. It's two of them rolling a blunt right up in Starbucks. All I can say is y'all trying to go to jail. They do this type of ignorant shit because nobody is checking them. Nobody is saying nothing to them. Nobody is addressing them like, brother, what is you doing? I'm not going to feel bad when you go to jail for stupidity from situations that you have created. I don't want to hear your excuses about, well, I couldn't make it in school because you didn't go to school. It's hard to make it in school if you don't go to school. Well, I don't want to go to church. If you don't want to go to church, then you don't want to take advantage of the programs that the church offering you to help you. Well, my life is that way. All our lives is hard. I can tell you a story about me and my family, and we all sitting around eating ketchup and carrot soup. Ask me how many people I went out and shot. Ask me how long I sold drugs to feed my family. Go ahead, ask me. None, zero. But I do go to church, and I prayed on it, and God gave me a different situation. As I was explaining to Miss Martha, it's a lot of godless people out here. A lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people say, well, I'm spiritual. And my definition of spiritual is I don't want God to be a part of my decision making. So I say I'm spiritual. Now, I'm not tied into anything. I'm not accountable to God. Because I didn't say I believed in God. I didn't say I accepted God in my life. I just said I'm spiritual. Whatever the hell that means. My definition, it just basically means I don't want God to be part of my decision making. It's sad what's happening throughout the United States and black community. So you know it's a real black problem. And we can't keep blaming this white man, even though he has a full list of things he needs to be accountable for. It's not them that's shooting and killing each other on the streets. It's not them filling up the prisons. It's not them that's not getting a second chance. White man can rob a bank. I guarantee if he gets out, he'll probably get a job 10 times faster than you, who spent 8 years in college trying to get some engineering degree. That's how sick the society is. What measure is it for you to be doing well in a sick society? We got to change. I'm tired of having these discussions about this situation. I'm tired of mothers having to bury their kids over nonsense. It's already 8 o'clock. I'm going to open the lines for a few minutes. If somebody want to call in, 872-267-2552. I usually don't type it on the Facebook side, but I'm going to type it on Facebook side today. Just for the day, because y'all need to come on over to YouTube side and join the chat and be a part of the discussion. So I'm going to type this number in. That's 872-267-2552. We all know what the problem is. And the court system is a problem. And we don't want to throw everybody away. But if you let one rotten apple sit in a barrel of apples, eventually it will destroy all the apples in the barrel. So the crab syndrome can't exist without that rotten apple. Constantly pulling and clawing to keep someone else from making some of themselves. Miss Martha says, well, you got to pray on this situation. You got to pray on this situation. Yeah, you got to pray on all that. But then you got to get up and do something. There's no other way around the action. But the action, I never felt that the action belongs to the women, because why should the women be having a war with the young men? It makes no sense to me. Even though they're partly responsible for creating it, but also the government had a hand in that back in the 70s and things when they removed the men. Well, they didn't remove them. They just made the suggestion like, he can't take care of you, girl. We got you. Gonna get you an apartment, put some money in there, some food stamps so you can feed your kids. What this dude gonna do? We trying to lock this dude up. You report him to us, and if he ain't got the money, we gonna lock him up. You need a restraining order. He violent. Let's put that restraining order on him. No, they did everything to get this man out of the way, because that's the best way to destroy the family. Get rid of the shepherd. Now the sheep is free. I know women don't want to be sheep. What, man? It's too bad. That's what it is. So now the women don't feel like sheep. They shepherds now too. Well, I've been working all this time and taking care of my kids, and I put my kids in college, and I raised them the right way. You raised them the slave way. Just like it says in the Willie Lynch letter. Put fear in her heart for her kids, and you won't have to break them. She will break them for us. She will make sure that they know the rules of society and that they hold to the rules, because she knows what's going to happen, especially her son. She will push her daughter out in full obedience of the system, and she will hold her son back, and she will embrace him and cover him because she'd rather see him a slave than dead. As for the black man, his feet are set on destruction. At any challenge, we must beat him down and destroy him in front of his other people. What did I say in my poem? Self-destruction taught by the destructional teacher. We on the field and they in the bleachers. Yes, this has been orchestrated. But we know it's been orchestrated. So if we know, then that means we got to change course. If we don't change course, I don't like I tell people a few weeks ago. Some days I wake up and I don't see a future for black people in this country. I see assimilation, capitulation to the system because we're sitting around caring about everybody else's issues. I don't really care about LGBT issues. Sorry, I don't care because my black issues have existed before your LGBT issues. Well, we got to care about people at the border. Don't care about people at the border because my black issues have existed way longer than that. Well, it's reverse discrimination. I don't care about reverse discrimination. I don't care about nothing but black issues. Period. And that comes first. And until we get that mindset and get that ooh, I feel bad filling out our heart. Like I said, all them Christians, your boss and all these other evil whites and everybody, they go to church too. And they pray to God too. And then they go home feeling great about what they did to you. And you're supposed to feel ashamed if you do the same thing that they do. What God gonna punish him? Yes, God is gonna punish him. You just may not be around when he does because you're gonna be destroyed before that happens. We asleep in the war zone. Ain't that how the song go? Ain't nobody on your throne. What we doing out here, brothers? That's probably gonna be the next show. Brothers, can we talk? I'll start working on it now. Okay, we didn't get no call in tonight, so on that note, I didn't talk on my soapbox. Hopefully we're gonna get some people to move over to the YouTube side. I know everybody's just easier on Facebook to do whatever you got to do, but you know we don't get the views on Facebook don't translate to the views on YouTube. So we can't grow the numbers on YouTube if you're on Facebook, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow that community. So come on over to I always put a link in there, and you can always click that link, and you can always come over. You can click the subscribe button, click the notification button, join the chat, and let's talk about it. And then let's develop a plan, and then let's act on a plan. On that note, love, peace. So we out of here.
Step out of the car. No, you don't have the right. Step out of the car. You not have the right to do that. I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you. I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Now if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out. You got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you want to. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Fuck that. Freedom or death, nigga.
If you injustice is
Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga.
you ain't getting a warning. Until now, you're going to jail.
I'm getting it for what?